Hey guys, just figured I would jump on and go live for you since I haven't been live in a while. It's definitely been a minute since I was live, I think, and now that I'm finally moved in, finally settled, I figured I would jump on and give us all, hey Diamond, I was hoping some of you guys would come in. I figured I would jump on and give us all some time to chat in the live chat and just answer some questions. I know we just had the new moon in Scorpio. I know some people are going crazy right now. So I wanted to come on the live and just spend some time with you guys, let people chit chat and ask away. I'm doing much better. The move was insane, and I know the energies have been insane, so I just wanted to come on and spend some time with you guys. Hey, Carla, how are you? If I'm looking over here, it's just because my computer's here. My computer is, how are you? I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name. Is it Faspus? Faspus? I'm so sorry. I butchered that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, how are you? Alaric? Is that a little better? Is that a little better? Or did I still say it wrong? Yay! I did it right. Hey, Shima. Oh, I'm so glad some of the patrons are showing up. How are you guys doing? Yes, I'm doing really well. The move is we're finally done, finally settled. My computer is broken, so holding out. Guys, I'm really bad with pronouncing names, so I'm really sorry. But hello, Sharuk. Did I say that correct? I'm so sorry if I didn't. I hope I did. And I'm really sorry if I didn't. Yay, go me. Okay. Doing well so far. We're getting there. Yeah. I'll show you a picture of kind of what my screen looks like. It's on my phone. I can kind of see it right now, but just so you guys see what it looks like at times. It's basically my whole computer screen's in negative mode. Let's see if my camera will focus. Can we focus, please? Focus. Can you guys see that? That's kind of what my computer looks like all the time. It's basically my LCD screens has like a burnt in image of whatever my previous screen was. And yes, that, hey, how are you, Hulk Strong? Ooh, I like that. Yes, very nice. And that last moon was crazy. It was. Would you guys like to talk about the new moon in Scorpio? If you would like to talk about it, we can chat about that. Okay, yes, let's talk about that. Actually still have my notes from that, so let me go get that. Let's go pull that bad boy out. Get myself all comfy. Let's do it. It's actually funny because I wouldn't say funny. I don't know if that's the right word to use. This new moon in Scorpio is a very pivotal new moon because in November, well, let me just ask you this. How are you guys feeling? Let's start with that. How's everybody feeling about this new moon? How's everybody been doing? Is everybody feeling pretty good? Because it's a very positive new moon, but I feel as if the collective might be feeling a little emotional and a little like, what's happening? I know something's happening and I don't know what it is, but I feel like somebody's about to put me through a wood chipper, but it feels like a positive wood chipper, but I don't know what I'm going to be at the end of this wood chipper. It's kind of like that. Like, I feel like I'm going to be torn up, but in a really good way. That's basically what this new moon is. Hello, Shell. How are you? Yay! I'm so glad that you're here. It is a very emotional time. That's for sure. Definitely a very emotional time with the new moon in Scorpio. So let's talk about the energies in November really quick before I get into. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy you guys are like having strength to let go of things, because it's a really good time to do that. You know how for the past few, let me start off with saying I'm sorry I didn't do weeklies today. I needed today to do my own things on the new moon. And you know I'm typically really good about posting about it. I was not expecting Spirit to kind of like sit me down today, but today I definitely was sat down. I was definitely sat down and thrown into a lot of shadow work. And I actually, ironically, ran into, I met a new person in the spiritual community that I think I was very guided to meet. And it needed to happen. We'll just say that. It needed to happen. And they were very helpful. And that happened very early this morning. And then the rest of my day was just like, my crown was open and my third eye was open. And I was like, I can't do anything but sit here and see all these things. And I was just like, okay, well, I guess I just have to deal with it right now. So I kind of was just like shut down for a little bit. So I'm sorry, but tomorrow is dedicated to you guys. It is dedicated to you guys. So I will be posting both today and tomorrow's readings tomorrow, but I definitely need it today for me because we're human, right? That happens. So I'm feeling it too. Trust me, you're not alone. It is a very good thing, Carla, and it was a crazy day. So in November, we have a lot of North Node and South Node energy. North Node is future, South Node is past, to just put it very simply, right? So South Node is in Sagittarius, North Node is Gemini. We have the Gemini full moon eclipse on the 30th. So this new moon in Scorpio is basically, and it's funny because I almost did a video on this today, but I was sat down, so I didn't really do it. But I was thinking about it last night, and I do want to talk about this thought process we have about the masculine energy. Masculine energy does not mean men. It means energy. So I'm a female. I'm definitely a masculine energy. And there's been this thought process that masculine energy is not as evolved as feminine energy. But let's keep in mind that we all have masculine and feminine energy. Okay. And the reason I bring this up is because we've been talking about anchors, and I've even said it, and I don't want to instill this belief that there's people that are less evolved, because nobody's less evolved. There's basically two timelines right now. And this new moon in Scorpio is the choice. I'm going to say a choice because it's not a split. It's not a split in timelines. It's people choosing what timeline they want to be in. And the new moon in Scorpio is the beginning of us deciding what timeline we are going to be in for 2021. And that full moon eclipse in Gemini on the 30th is when we are going to cement that final decision of what timeline that is. So if you've been dealing with a lot of people who are kind of like pessimistic or not doing their work, not evolving with you, that are your anchors, and you feel like that separation, that pull apart, like, why do I have to leave you behind? This could be your really good friends. It could be family members. It could be romantic partners. It could be people at work. It could be just situations. That's one timeline, and you're the other timeline. So when I was talking about anchors, and we see that playing out in readings, how people are kind of like evolving to different frequencies, those radio stations I've been talking about, that's the differences in timelines right now. So people making that decision, what timeline they want to be on. I don't think my chat's loading. So if you guys are typing right now, I don't see anything in the chat. Or you guys just aren't talking. I'm pretty sure the chat's just not loading. So if I'm not responding, it's just because the chat has frozen a bit back, and it will just take some. And there it goes. Thanks, Spirit. Exactly. Okay. Okay, perfect. So, hey guys, how are you? Exactly. So I don't want you guys having this thought process that I'm more evolved, because that is coming from the ego. We all have feminine, we all have masculine. Okay. So if you're thinking that, well, they're not as evolved as me because they're the masculine, that means that your masculine aspect is not as evolved as your feminine either, because you have a masculine aspect to you, right? So I want you to keep that in mind. I appreciate that, Miranda. Thank you guys so much. And so these timelines, I want you to guys, the holler than though perspective. Am I just blind? Is that? Exactly. Yes. The holier. I was like the holler. I'm like, what are we hollering at? Yes. The getting on the high horse. Yes, exactly. Which is really common. Holler back girl is immediately what I thought of. That's so silly. But yes, holier than you perspective, getting on that high horse. But yes, you have to let the crap building fall down to build your empire. Yes, exactly. Because remember, if you're thinking that those people are not as evolved, you're basically instilling that timeline, which collectively, when we get to that full moon eclipse, that's potentially going to keep us in that timeline. Okay? So help me out, help me help you get us to the higher timeline, right? So let's think that, okay, because it's not just masculine energy. Like let's call it what it is. It's masculine and feminine energies that are in that lower vibe. It's not just masculine that are there. It's part of the collective, which is both, because we all have masculine and feminine. It's both. Okay? So let's all own that. Hey, how you doing? Hey, John. So it's both of us. So I just wanted to address that because I'll own it. I know in some of my readings, I've definitely participated in instilling that belief, and I really wanted to like squash that because I definitely could have worded it way better. So I didn't enhance that into the collective. And I just really wanted to like discuss that with you guys. Doing well. Thank you for asking. And I was like thinking about that, and I was like, oh no, like we really got to squash that. We really got to talk about that. That's a must chat about. So just be mindful. We all have masculine, we all have feminine. And if we are talking about, exactly, yeah. See, I'm a female and I have masculine too. I'm so masculine. And but when you tap into your feminine, remember that you can, if you look at my chart, yes, I'm masculine, but I've learned to be more in my feminine energy more often. So just because you're labeled as masculine doesn't mean that you always act in masculine, right? You can always, in time, embody whatever energy at any moment, okay? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. So when you think about that person you're dealing with, I want you to almost calm your ego during this time, because we're really collectively instilling during this new moon in Scorpio energy what potential timeline we're going to have for 2021. And we know right now that the energies are freaking through the roof and they're driving all of us a little crazy. It's really emotional. It's really intense. We have brand new beginnings coming, a lot of positive energy, a lot of opportunities coming, a lot of abundance coming. But that abundance will come when we release the blockages, when we accept the things that are limiting beliefs, that are fears, that are stopping us. So with the new moon in Scorpio, we had a lot of Venus energy, Venus square Jupiter, Venus square Pluto. When Venus is square, squares are basically conflict and challenges. So Venus, relationships, Jupiter and Pluto, Jupiter's expansion, Pluto's transformation. So there's going to be a lot of changes and transformations in our dynamics with people and our relationships. I do feel this is more so the fear of being vulnerable in our connections, allowing our authentic self, your true soul self. When I say authentic, I feel a lot of people think of that in the 3D realm and the realm of communication. I want you to learn to be truly authentic to your soul, like to be like super vulnerable. Like, hey, this is me. You know, I don't really give a crap that low key my mascara is like totally causing some raccoon eyes right now. And it is what it is. You know, like, be yourself, like 100% yourself. Like, be silly, be ridiculous, allow people to see your authentic self and all that it is. And if you don't know what that is, that means that you need to find that within you at the same time. Okay, so that's where a challenge will be. And you're going to see this in your dynamics with people too. So I want you to understand that when people are distancing yourself from you right now, there's going to be that challenge of, are they distancing from me? Is that connection falling apart? Most likely no. It's probably them. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's most likely those people trying to find themselves right now. You're going to see a lot of people go in hermit mode. A lot of people being like, who am I? Who do I want to be? What's happening to me? What is the universe doing? And it might result in them pulling away, but there's going to be conversations about it. I don't feel people dropping you like flies. It's going to be, if I need you to keep in mind these timeline shifts though, these timelines, you're still gonna need to recognize that some people are choosing. It's not a split. I don't like that word split. It's not a split in timelines, because I don't like being this person. I really don't. But I've heard some people in the community say it's a split. It's not a split. It's a choice. It's a choice. You can choose if you want to do the work. You can choose if you want to better yourself. You can choose if you want to focus on your limiting beliefs, if you want to focus on your healing. It's not a split in timelines. It's a choice in what timeline. It's not a split. It's not like, here's a split. No, it's a choice. There are two roads. Which one do you want to take? You know? No, it's not a split. It's not a split. It's not like, oh, this group's going here and this group's going here. They're split. They're not split. They're choosing. I just don't like that word. That triggered me. It did trigger me. Because I don't like this. It's not a split. It's like when you say split, that's like taking the collective, cutting it in half and saying they're destined to go here. They're not. They're having a choice. So right now, let's choose collectively to help the portion of the collective that's choosing that path, to send out the energy to help them choose a better timeline, right? So you know what? I'm going to manifest in my mind not only better opportunities for myself, but I already know that you're going to start to have the aha moments for the healing you need. I'm going to think in my mind, even if we don't end up together, that you're going to realize what your limiting beliefs are, and you're going to do what you need to do to get on your path. Okay? I never knew about loving myself until I saw how they treated me. Yeah, exactly. Because that goes back to like our external environment reflects internal environment. And that's been coming up in a lot of personal readings I've been doing, like a lot of personal readings. Because I think I've been mentioning in a lot of the YouTube readings, the whole like seeking validation through relationships being a theme in the collective. We're finally getting away from that. Like, because I feel like a lot of you guys have been doing so much work, because it's showing up in the readings. Like, it's showing up in the readings like crazy. All the work the collective's been doing. And the more and more work you do, Spirit's going to acknowledge it. And the more and more doors are going to open, because the more and more you're going to ascend. But don't stop the work just because you see the doors opening. Okay? Don't stop the work. Pretty please. Don't stop. Because once you get to that frequency, you need to maintain it. You need to maintain the frequency. Maintain it. Maintain. Because wavelengths go up and down. You go down, don't mean you're going to go back up. You need to learn to maintain it. Okay? So then we have Venus trine the North Node, which is future energy, which I really, really like. Trines resolve conflict, and Venus, more relationships. So this is going to shed light on basically, I do feel this is more of like resolving inner dynamics, like self-love, a lot of self-care, because this is a lot of self energy. It is also going to shed light on what you want in your relationships, what you need within yourself to have healthy dynamics. So for some of you, it's going to make you and help you realize what your definition of love is, but also it's going to help heal your current dynamics with people. Okay. So let's say family dynamics, current long-term friendships that have chosen that higher frequency timeline with you. It's going to help resolve conflict in those connections, which is really good. I love trines. Trines are really good for manifesting. I have hiccups now because I've been sucking in so much air from talking so fast. Um, sorry. I make myself laugh like over the stupidest things. But trines are very, like, it's very supportive energy. So very good energy to manifest in. And we still have, well, let me see. Let me check out this Jupiter conjunct Pluto energy we had going on. Let's see where that's at right now. Because that was really peaking on the 13th. And that was like amazing manifestation energy. Let's go to current date and time, please. Time nomad, I appreciate you. Let's look at my conjunctions. Okay, it's still pretty hot. Pretty hot tamales. Yeah, I would still say do some manifestation. Ooh, we have the moon conjunct south node today. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Let's check that out. That's kind of like, that kind of reminds me of karmic energy, understanding the past, understanding why things happened, why things occurred when the moon's conjunct south node, because the south node is kind of like karma, right? History, destiny, because it's the past. Also, let's get into these sextiles, because this is where all that positive freaking manifestation opportunity going to be coming in. And that's what we all care about, right? Obviously, we care about the healing and the wounding and stuff, but come on, we all want to know about the opportunities. So we got the sun, sextile, Jupiter, and Pluto. Jupiter, we all love Big Daddy Jupiter, right? So that's expansion, that's opportunity, that's good luck, that's wealth, that's prosperity. And Pluto, transformation, rebirth, death, like it, Scorpio energy. And then we also have, so the sun sextile, both of those. And the sun is enlightenment. It's aha moments. It's realizations. It's things that we need to see and understand. So when we have the sun sextile Jupiter and Pluto, which are both in Capricorn, by the way, and Capricorn's kind of like, hey, Christina. And Capricorn's kind of like that hard worker, the workhorse energy. I really love that they're both in Capricorn. So Cappies, I know you're going through it. I know, trust me, I know all of this is in my Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn rising. I feel you. Capricorn, I know you've been going through it. It's okay. We're almost there. It's like the last little bit. Just hold in there. I know. I feel so bad for Cappy these last few months. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. You will, John. I promise you, you will. You will find who is most meant for you. I promise. I promise. Spirit will always align us with who's most meant for you, right? But these sextiles will deal with mostly groups of people, and it's typically the 3rd and the 11th house for sextiles. But this is unfolding an opportunity, which is really good. And then you have Venus sextile, the south node, which is destiny. So it's going to be like karmic partnerships. This is going to be a lot of, is this interactive or? Yeah, it's interactive. I'm not giving a speech. We can chit chat all you want. You can always talk to me. That's fine. I'm live. You can chat all away. Chat away, Steve. I'm here for you. I'm just talking about the super new moon in Scorpio that we had the other night, since I didn't really. I'm not pulling any cards tonight just because I actually just closed myself down from a really intense spiritual day of personal things. So I'm not pulling any cards tonight, guys. But I will answer some questions that you guys have about any spiritual stuff, but I won't be pulling any cards. Not tonight. But tomorrow I will be doing all the weekly readings, and I'm planning another live where you guys can do super chats for cards and questions of that sort. Where was I? Venus sextile the south node, that's like destiny. So that's going to be pulling in a lot of like very divine Hey, Melissa, how are you? Very divine counterpart connections. It's literally destiny. I wrote destiny underneath it. Oh, that's pointless because you can't really see. I got a lot of chicken scratch going on here, guys. See? Destiny. And then we have the new moon. So deeply emotional, lots of Venus energy, deeply healing with the north and south node aspects because that's past and future. No problem, Christina. Thank you, Leia. I appreciate you. Oh, Cappy, yes. We were just talking about Cappies. I'm a Cappy rising. It's Cappies, I feel for you. Other signs too, but I know my Cappies right now, the past few months have been really rough. Since there is a chance to ask a question, do you think there is value in watching rising moon, Venus, as well as sun sign? I personally watch my rising, then I watch my moon, and I watch my rising, my sun, then my moon. And then I'll watch my Venus if I'm interested in my love. I always watch my rising sign first, simply because your rising sign is basically what dictates how your whole chart's laid out. I actually go over this in that video of how to interpret tarot as a viewer. I talk about all of that in that video. It's 12 minutes long. I really go on a whole tangent of that. I'm so happy I'm getting everybody's name right today. This is great. Hey, Carla, how are you? Yeah, I really like watching rising sign first. Yeah, you typically will resonate with your rising sign really well because it's what basically aligns your entire chart. So it dictates relationships, how your houses line up, and your houses will dictate basically what's going on in your home, your family, your friends, your finances. So that's why I like to watch my rising sign first, because it will really resonate with you. And then your sun sign is basically the core of your being, and then the moon is your emotions. So my sun sign's Libra, my rising sign is Capricorn, and my moon is Leo. So I can be a bit of a drama queen, but I can also be very, with my sun in Libra, I'm very much of a peacekeeper. But since I'm a Cappy rising, I'm a workaholic. I like to take charge. And everybody typically calls me mom in my dynamics. I end up being the mommy. If you would like to watch your Jupiter with your career in mind, yes. Hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, I haven't heard from you in forever. Where you been? Where you been, girl? Where you been? It's so funny. I feel like you're always changing your YouTube name too. So it took me a second. I had to look at your YouTube photo to know it was even you. Leo Cancer cusp for sun and Cancer moon. Leo Cancer cusp. I need to do some research on cuspers. Cuspers? What a fun word to say. Cuspers. I really resonate with Leos. I get along with Leos really, really well. My ride or die is a Leo. And my mother's a Cancer. Cancer energy is really nice. It's very nurturing energy. Cancer moon. I feel like Cancer moon would be like a double-edged sword. I feel like any sign would be a double-edged sword. I know it's another astrology book I recommended, which is so funny you said that, because I was like, I know it's in that book. I just never read it. I know it's in there. It's a whole chapter on it. It's like this thick of, what is it? Like a centimeter thick. It's not even that much. Oh, it's so funny. Okay. I'm almost done with this super new moon energy, and then we can talk kind of a little, you guys can ask me some questions. These are just some notes I got in the channel for my Patreon, for my patrons, for my Patreon channel. You are not your emotions. Things are going to bubble up. It's going to be a very healing time for us to move forward. Jupiter aspects. Oh no, these are just notes. This wasn't the channel. Where's my channel? Did I even write it? I probably just did the channel live. I think I did the channel live. Yeah, I did the channel live. Jupiter aspects will allow us to break free from our limitations, whether those be through people or situations. Allow yourself to take chances. What was the channel on this? I know some of my patrons are in here. Do you guys remember the channel on this? I do so many patrons readings. Oh, it's so hard for me to remember channels. If some of my patrons are in here and you guys remember the channel on this new moon and Scorpio video, let me know, because I don't really remember. It was, hey AP, how are you? Ooh, a Libra Virgo cusp. Hey Shell, thank you. Have a good night. I'm doing dandy. Thanks for asking. Leo Sun, Cancer Moon, Leo Rising, Cancer Venus. Holy Leo, Cancer. Jeez Louise. Hi. Hey Rick. I was saying the other day, my sun is Aquarius, my moon is Gemini, my Mercury is Pisces, Venus is Capricorn. My sun is Aquarius, moon is Gemini. That's a Gemini moons. Gemini moons. I always feel like a Gemini moon is like an intense moon placement, you know? Like I feel like that'd be a really fun moon placement to have. Mercury and Pisces, Venus and Capricorn, Venus and Capricorn. I have my Venus in Virgo. I feel like earth signs and Venus is always not difficult, but a little, I guess difficult. I was going to say challenging, which is basically just a synonym. I feel like earth signs and a Venus is like a little difficult sometimes because it makes you very practical about your relationships. I'm a Virgo in my Venus, and so I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I get very nitpicky with myself, very critical of myself and how I am with my partner, and sometimes even with my partner. So that was part of my shadow I really had to work on. So if you guys ever look at your Venus placement, and I just think that's very interesting how your signs in regards to, yeah, Venus and Capricorn, exactly. Yeah. I just think that's crazy because even if you, do you guys want me to show you the astrology book I have? If you guys, it's a very cheap astrology book. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's like $15 or something. Capricorn Sun, Scorpio Moon, Libra. Ooh, that's a really fun combination. Yeah, John, I'm the same way, but I'm like that because of my earth placement and my relationships. Very, very serious, very practical kind of, and that's also my Capricorn rising. Like I don't like to waste my time. Do not waste my time. Let's see what we got over here. So let me catch up on this chat while I show you guys my book. Here's my book. So hey Candace, how are you? Hey Aqua Sun and Rising. Do I pronounce your name Ashi? I'm sorry if I don't pronounce names right. I'm always going to try, but if I don't say them correctly. Listen, just because you had this when you're a little girl doesn't mean you can't have it when you're an adult. Okay. Let's see. And of course, hello. Venus and Virgo. Virgo, very difficult. Venus and Capricorn. I feel like I already read these because I'm a ding dong. Yes, I did. Taurus, and my daughter is a Leo. I'm going to be honest. I don't know many Taurus. I feel like I've met one. I know a lot of Leos. I attract a lot of Leos. I do have another astrology book, but this is definitely my go-to. This is definitely my go-to because it's kind of like so straightforward. It's so to the point. It's gonna, of course, I opened up right to the cusps. Cusp of Aries, cusp of Taurus. There's all the cusps. Thanks, Spirit. I got your hint. I should probably look at the cusps. Taurus Sun. Shima, you know, I see, I knew a Taurus. I knew a Taurus. It would be you. It's like, why do I feel like I've known a Taurus? Could have put my finger on it. What was I doing with this book, guys? Somebody remind me. Was I just telling you what what astrology book I used, or was there something I was looking up in here? Somebody remind me. Other than the cusp. Was it something other than the cusps? I feel like there was something else I was trying to do. Astrology book. But yeah, this is the book I use. Do I have another book that I was using? Beyond the Basics, Reiki, Crystals, Druid, Tarot, Mythology, Chakras, Raising Your Vibration, Affirmations. What else do we got over there? I got a lot of books, guys. Numerology. Telling us, no, that was it. Telling you the book. Thank you. Yes, I pretty much wear the same colors and jewelry every single day. And that's because I'm super pale in real life. And if I were to wear different colors, you would realize that. Thank you. I wear the lightest shade of foundation you will ever see. Alabaster, if you need to know. But yes, I actually really like this book. To be honest with you, to be super candid, I really don't know that much about astrology. I really don't. Everything that I know typically comes through the channel. If you want me to be completely honest, everything I know, I typically channel. I talk about with spirit. I typically know it through my astrology apps, the research, the quick little research I do about what North Node, South Node is, what I've learned from this quick little book. And honestly, common sense. Also, my background is in science, so I kind of have a photographic memory. When I read things once, it kind of sticks. It just sticks. So I've read things in here and that's it. Like, I'm done. But it's only like with science and education. But then I'm a horrible test taker. So tell me how that works. Explain to me. But yeah. So new moon in Scorpio. I want to know your guys' thoughts on the energy. I'm sorry I didn't do an energy shift reading for you guys for this, but that's that was on my Patreon channel, but it was really intense. It was really intense. I even did the weekly reading on Patreon, and I ended up sharing it with my tier 2 patrons just because it felt so similar to the energy shift reading for the new moon in Scorpio, or what it was supposed to be. And I was like, I need to share this with the tier 2s too, because it was only supposed to be for tier 3s. But like, great things are coming, and I just want you guys to like really try to stay positive about it, because I know right now things probably feel really freaking wonky. Like, how am I supposed to believe that things are going to get better? It's almost like this very skeptical energy is going on right now. It's going to improve. It really is. I really want you guys to focus on that higher timeline. And if you're dealing with people that you're kind of like really struggling to send them good vibes, please try your hardest to say, listen, even if we don't work out, even though we don't end up together, even if our relationship falls apart, I hope you find healing. I hope that you realize that the timeline that I'm heading on is a timeline you should be on, the whole collective should be on, because that's a timeline that we need for 2021. Okay. As I lose my voice. And, but yeah, that's what I got for you. Do you guys have any questions about anything spirituality, divine masculine, divine feminine? Any insight about feeling hungover even though I'm not even drinking? Ooh, that's a fun one, because I felt that. Like, when you wake up in the morning, you're absolutely like exhausted and like you just can't get your day started till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And you're like, I just didn't sleep all night. I can't remember my dreams. I don't know what's going on. I know I had a dream, but then I can't remember it. It's like somebody's talking to me, but then I'm tossing and turning all night. And I know I just slept for 2 hours, but I don't feel like I slept at all. That kind of feeling. Welcome to an awakening. I would recommend doing a lot of grounding. I would recommend also drinking a shit ton of water, trying to stay away from coffee for a little bit. I would recommend doing a lot of exercise. I would also recommend, if you do meditate, Or are you trying to kind of connect with your guides and stuff right now? If you are, that's fine. I would also actually recommend probably like disconnecting, like just being in your body for a little bit. No caffeine is life. Exactly. Yeah. Like meanwhile. It was just so funny because I'm not a coffee drinker, and after this move, I was like, I need this because I'm like falling asleep right now. It was horrible. That stuff is addictive. Right? Meanwhile, it's 7:07. It's 7:07, guys. Da, 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 da. But I would actually recommend, hey, Untitled, sorry, absolutely butchered that when like I see you commenting all the time. The words just didn't want to come out. But I would recommend actually staying in your body more when you have that hungover feeling. That's kind of like a burnout feeling. That's spirit saying like, I need you to rest. I need you to rest. That was me today. That was me today. That's because we're going through awakenings. That's because we're going into the new cycle. And it's literally like rest and retreat, which is actually, where did I see that card today? Oh, Energy Oracle. Did I not? Where are you at? I know you're in here. Come to me. Rest and rejuvenate. There you are. That was quick. Yeah. So let's see. Smell firecracker smoke out of nowhere. Don't know if it's spiritual or not. I have no idea what I'm going through. I think it came out of the X-Files. Just you have to think about them like you met them in a dream and now you woke up. Try that. Haha, I totally am a channel, and the last year has been a big return being a human body after years of somatic trauma relief, so I'm an Aquarius. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely would recommend trying to genuinely sound weird, but guys, when you have that hungover, very like, okay, let's just call it what it is. We all love like connecting with our guides. We all really love being out of body. We're like, ooh, I'm open. Give me some messages. Like, talk to me, baby. Like, let me hear what you got to say kind of vibe. Like, we all love it, right? But at the end of the day, if you're feeling burnt out or if your crown's overworked and like you're really exhausted, I need you to really allow yourself to come back to body. Like, you need to enjoy being in the physical because you're here to have a human experience, okay? Because if you do too much work up there, eventually it's going to get burnt out. You're not going to even get the guidance you need. So if you've been doing a lot of shadow work, if you've been doing a lot of trauma work, if you've been doing just a lot of spiritual work, a lot of journeys and stuff, eventually your crown's going to be overworked. Your third eye is going to be overworked. You need to come back to body. You need to let that rest. This rest, the crown rest, the throat rest, everything rest. You need to be here in the physical because that's your soul came here to the physical to learn lessons, to grow, to evolve. It didn't come here to be out of body to go back up there. It came here for a reason. So you can spend some time up there floating around doing what you need to do with your ancestors and your guides. But at the end of the day, you came here to do this work. Okay? So just like my purpose may be to read and deliver messages, but right now I'm not pulling cards because this is my work, to be in the physical. Okay? Do you get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Yes, try that work. Okay. I'm curious what I missed with John Smith and Candace. I want to catch up on the drama. What did I miss? I'm an Aquarius. Oh, what did I miss? I got to scroll all the way up. Okay, it's weird. One made me very sad. Like, oh, the aha moments. Interesting. Very interesting. There's also a very 7-Eleven now on the clock. Damn, I'm getting all these very spiritual numbers pop up. Which is funny you say that, because I was literally about to just say something that's very similar to that. There's a very, what's the question? What did I miss? What's Melissa's question? And then I'll talk about this. Any tips for beginners when you're talking to your, oh, okay, I will talk about that. Give me 2 seconds. There's a very common energy happening right now with people who think that their twin is their twin. I want you guys to be very mindful that the South Node energy that's going on is the energy of karma. And I've done 5 or 6 readings in the last 3-4 days that all have the 2 of Cups and the Devil attached to each other in reverse. That is a karmic partner that is so strong it can feel like a twin. That's a very, 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 very hard connection to detach from, and it can very much so feel like a twin. And I've almost cried every time that comes out, because I've been in that connection. It's a very hard connection because it's so convincing. It is so convincing. You're like, this is my twin. It's so like, I feel so liberated with this person. I feel so vulnerable with this person. I feel I can be myself. It feels so different, and it does. And you will show up as a true pair in reverse with this person in this red. And if you go to a reader and they're like, it's a true pair, you just have a lot of healing to do because it's toxic, blah, 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 blah. It's a karmic partner. It's a karmic partner. Okay? I don't mean to be rude. I'm just saying. South Node energy. Yeah, that's South Node energy right now. A lot of, yeah, it's basically the facade of the twin. And if you saw my post, Rip Off the Mask, for the new moon in Scorpio reading, people are ripping off the mask. Aha, hello, here I am. Welcome to the party. This is the real me, the authentic self, the true soul, seeing things for what they really are. How the damn do I know? Your higher self already knows. Come on now. You know, some characteristics, your intuition. You will know. You will know. You know when you feel the red flags, and your intuition, if you're second guessing this person, if part of you is craving them, but in the heart space, you already know intuitively. Like if you have to question their loyalty, if you have to question, or if you feel that you're chasing, or if you're going and looping with this person, or if you have to practically, you know, you don't need me to tell you. Come on now. You already know. You already know. If there's any second guessing about where this connection's going, there's a lack of trust, a lack of honesty. Is that a twin? You know, twins, honestly, but at the same time though, a twin connection is not easy either. A twin connection is your soul, one soul, coming to Earth, splitting in half. It's 2 polarities. A twin connection is not easy. A twin connection is not easy at all. You're staring at a mirror of yourself. They're going to show you every aspect of yourself, and it's going to be a very difficult connection. But this karmic connection, yeah, it is very confusing. I can understand why it's confusing. But the problem with this karmic connection is that it's very toxic, very binding, and it keeps you in a very looping situation where you repeat and repeat and repeat. Whereas a twin flame connection, you evolve with that person. You might go through very difficult cycles. Yeah, you might go through very difficult cycles together, but you will evolve, okay? You will evolve. Now, you can still evolve with a very toxic karmic, but you will evolve and depart. Evolve and depart. Detach. Toodaloo. Bye-bye. I learned my lesson. Okay, you toxic. Bye-bye. Whereas a twin, you can evolve and intuitively you know, okay, I know that they're doing their work and I know that they're going to come back, but I don't feel guided to chase them. I don't feel guided to run after them. I don't feel guided to reach out to them. I don't crave them because I know we're going to come back together. That's a twin. That's a twin. Okay? And let's be very, very real. You don't always end up with your twin. Okay? You don't always end up with your twin. There's a lot of people who marry their karmic, which a karmic can be a very positive karmic. Karmic just has a negative connotation attached to it. There's very positive karmic partners. There's a very, yeah, they're very difficult to decipher because everybody puts these labels on it. And I want to be very like disclosure. This is just my experience with these connections. Like if you have your own experience with them, that's perfectly fine. Like we can totally agree to disagree and there does not have to be an argument about it. It's just my experience with it. Hey, how are you? And if you have a different experience, that's fine. I'm not here for debate. You know, people, we're all on our own path, and this is just what my path has shown me. So I'm not here to force my opinions on you. If you experience something different and you have a different opinion, that's totally fine. That is totally fine, right? Because I've met people with different experiences, and that's their experience. You know, I'm not going to argue that at all. Hey, how are you? Hey, Kareen. Yeah. Now, if you go through that same cycle though, over and over and over, and there's no evolution, that's a karmic, okay? But if you go through that cycle and there's growth and there's growth and there's growth, that's different, you know? But at the end of the day, staying in that cycle is not healthy, okay? So for example, my twin and I, okay? We'll just talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't like to speak him into existence because he's got about 2 weeks before he's back. I already know. I feel you. I feel you. I know you're coming. I see you. I see you. Oof. Yeah. So my twin and I actually met my twin this past year, and I had a very karmic twin right before him. You typically have this very karmic twin, the devil version, to prepare you spiritually for the real twin, right? Because you need to evolve. You need to address most of your shadow before you can meet your twin, because then your twin's going to show you even more of your shadow. So it's kind of like, hey, let's get rid of the upper layer of all that crap that you haven't addressed so you can get to the heavy stuff underneath that your real twin's going to show you that you don't really want to look at. How about that? That sounds fun, right? Let's go to Sesame Street together. That'd be great. It's basically what Spirit's setting you up for. Wow, some of you guys really don't want to talk about this, huh? My throat just told me to go F myself real quick. So I have my very karmic connection, and I was not spiritual at all at this time. And when I was with my very karmic partner, that's when I had my seizure. It's when Spirit pulled me from my body. I fell, I hit my temple, damaged 3/4 of my brain, was blind and deaf, paralyzed, diagnosed with MS, and fast forward, quit my job, started my business, diagnosed with epilepsy. Here we are. And I met my twin after breaking up with that guy. And, but that whole time that I was going through all that trauma was my dark night of the soul. And I was with that very karmic partner. And that very karmic partner I thought was my twin. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to be here for me through this very difficult time and supporting me and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not going to air them out. But it was not supportive. It's very deceptive. It was not loyal. And I ended up coming back to my apartment and going through most of that alone. While somebody else was driving my car around. Yeah. So here we are. And then I met my twin. And so when I met my twin, though, my twin actually comes from a very spiritual family. And twin is not somebody who, that's another thing. Your twin is not going to be somebody you would typically go for. My twin is not my typical at all. And sorry guys, YouTube's like censoring a lot of these. Yeah, definitely crazy journey because I was not spiritual whatsoever. And I got all my vision back, got my full, like, everything back, which is crazy because I was blind and deaf for about like 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. And they didn't know why. And I was like, well, maybe because I damaged my brain, you know? So it's just crazy. And I was stubborn. Anyway, we don't got to go into all that. Anyway, so fast forward, met the twin, and we were together for a few months and went through the awakening, and then he would ghost and he would come back, and then he would ghost and he would come back, and he would ghost and he would come back. And it was a very back and forth energy because I was still going through my awakening and he was not awake, right? And I was very open with my spirituality. And so when you meet your twin, at times you may not be at the same frequency, but your souls are still meeting. Yes, of course you can join. Exactly. The ghosting, I feel, is a very normal thing because it's almost like one of the parties gets very freaked out about the depth of the connection because it's very different. Like if you meet your twin, it's not like a kind of connection you can, sorry, I just noticed how bad my raccoon eyes were getting. It's typically not a connection you can really describe because it's not like that romantic lovey-dovey kind of connection. It's kind of like, I can be me, you can be my best friend, but I can also be very real, very real, with them. And I think that intensity of that authenticity is what really freaks them out. Their background's not religious, but their family does what I do. Weird, right? Which is funny because I had only started my business a few months before meeting them. Exactly. No romance, no honeymoon phase, exact same thing. Just kind of like, it just happened. It just happened. And it was weird how we met. We were actually following each other on social media and just randomly started messaging. I was like, hey, can you pick me up from XYZ? And I was like, yeah, sure. I picked him up from this place and we just hung out all day. I was just like, I knew him forever. And I was like, okay. And that was it. And then he blocked me. He blocked me for the last 3 months, and now I'm unblocked and been unblocked and just waiting. Not really waiting, but it's just like, it's just like, you'll come, you'll go. And if you're meant for me, you're meant for me. Meanwhile, Spirit's got other people lined up, and I'm like, hey, you got options. And you just kind of do what's meant for you, what's of your highest good, because at the end of the day, you might not always end up with your twin, and that's okay because they serve their purpose. Like by meeting this person, I learned how to like embody and love myself on a whole new level because I had a lot of issues with codependency. I had a lot of issues with seeking validation through partnerships that I had to work through. And by this person, by meeting them and like going through this phase with them, by having them ghost me and like cut off connection, I was like, wow, I don't need a connection. I don't need that. Like I need me. I need my work. I need what makes me feel alive. I need what makes me feel fulfilled that I can do for myself, not through the people around me, not through the people I have, right? And that was very rewarding. So sometimes that's the purpose of your twin. It's not to have that connection. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the twin. Sometimes it's about the evolution that your twin brings. So keep that in mind when you meet your twin, please, because sometimes, thank you guys. I think he do. He definitely do. I see him lurking. I know he lurking. But people come for seasons. Remember that. And there's no animosity. There's no hate. And if that person were to knock on my door tomorrow, I genuinely think things would be chill. I genuinely do. Like, I know the purpose, I know the reason, and I want you guys to get to that place where, like, you can let go of anger at people, you know? It's a hard place to get to. It did take time, but I want you to get to that place where you get to that place where you're just not mad at the way people treat you, because you understand it's a reflection of them. Like, if you blocked me, it's because you didn't feel that you could give me what I needed, and you did me a favor. That's okay. Could be me. Exactly. Could be you, John. The heck you doing? Thank you. I appreciate you. Do you pronounce it Shafina? I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. And exactly. So it's a big lesson in learning how to kind of like put that ego aside. And it's hard, trust me, because my ego come out. She's Italian and she carry a wooden spoon. So she likes to be a little sassy. You gotta tame her. I kind of wonder that, Carla, sometimes, if your twin can also be a karmic. I do wonder that, because, like, why put limitations on those kind of things? Like, can you create karma with your twin? I'm like, why not? Why not be capable of creating karma with your twin? It's just another kind of connection. And of course, if they're your twin, you have past lives together, and can't you create karma with that connection? You know, what would stop that? What makes that immune to karma? You know, I think about that. I do think about that. I think that's possible. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I miss chatting with you guys. I just wanted to come on and chat. I really did. I just miss spending time with you guys. Yeah, because think about it. If in other connections, other relationships, you go and you have past lives with them, and you go and you create karma with them, what makes a twin flame immune to creating karma? Just because it's one soul, it's still another person. Like, this is still my soul, that's still their soul. Just because we're polarities that equal one soul doesn't mean that they're immune to creating karma with me. That's just my perspective. Yeah. Oh, okay, Tom Smith, a little psychology. I got some psychology in my background. I do. I love psych. I do. See if this be exactly. I agree. I think karmics, you can resolve the karma and then you can evolve that. I agree with that. Because that's the point of the karma, to heal the karma. And then once you heal the karma, it's kind of like, okay, checkmate, on to the next. It's not like you clear the karma and then they take that person away. No, you cleared the karma. Like, okay, where's my reward? You know? It's like, you cleared the karma, now we're gonna take them. No, I cleared the karma. Where's my reward? What are stones you're wearing? Okay, so I have malachite. Malachite is actually really good for prosperity. I personally wear it because it's really good to help with seizures, and I'm epileptic, so that's why I wear it. And then I have rose quartz. And then I have blue kyanite. This is really good for opening up the throat chakra, but it's also really good for intuition. It's really good. I personally think it works a lot with my third eye and my crown. I always feel it more in my third eye and my crown when I wear it, and I've just been really called to it lately. I really love kyanite. And then I have amethyst. Amethyst is just like my go-to protection stone, and I actually got this one as a gift from one of my local shops that I go to. They just gave it to me one day, and I just fell in love with the way this crystal looks. The first one is malachite, M-A-L-A. Actually, I think I have it on a card, C-H-I-T-E. I can show it to you. Got it on a crystal oracle deck. Oh, I love crystals. Thank you for spelling it for her. Why did I not just type it right? Because I'm obsessed with cards. That's why. Jordan, you got a keyboard in front of you. Why not just type it? Why? Because I'm stubborn. This is what it looks like. I love malachite. It's a really good stone for prosperity, for abundance. It does a lot more things than just like seizures. It's really good for the heart chakra as well because it's green, right? I really like my new, hey girl, how you doing? Did you make it back to Florida? Where are you at now? I really like my new place. It did take some time to acclimate because I'm not used to being on a main road like this. Even though I lived in the city, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am in a smaller town now, closer to my family because of my seizures. Because they did get worse over the last few months, but now I'm on medicine that works a lot better. So I haven't had any, especially with the storms we had. We just had really bad flooding. And typically when we have really, really bad rain, I have really bad seizures, so didn't have any, which was really good. Which is the first time I haven't had any in over a month, because I typically, for the last few months, I was having a lot of them. But I really like the new place. I'm just not used to being in like a busy, even though I lived in the city, I was like in a really secluded area of the city, like on a back road that was really nice and like homey and quiet. And now I'm on like the main road right next to like a police station and a fire station. So it's like really busy, and I walk my dog and she's not used to all the sound. And so like we're both kind of like really, my ears are really sensitive to sound after my fall. So it's just taking some getting used to. But I do love it. I love the new home. I love the physical home. It's just the streets and the noise does take some getting used to. But I do love it here. I got the crystal deck off Amazon. It's actually linked in the description box. I think it should be linked in this description box. It should automatically be up there, I think. The Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle by Judy Hall. I believe that it's the best malachite. Barometric pressure change. Barometric pressure change. When the weather changes like that, I'm really sensitive to the barometric pressure change. I personally get all of my crystals just from a local shop. So wherever they get them from. Sometimes I get them off Etsy from personal sellers. But I really dig, I think malachite actually got from a Etsy shop. And I really love the malachite I have. I'll actually show you guys this one because it is my favorite. And the little cages I have, though, I got those off Amazon. So this way, if you guys don't want to like buy a bunch of new necklaces, I literally just buy the metal cages off Amazon and you pop crystals in and out of them. So this way you don't have to buy a bunch of new necklaces, and then just use whatever chains you have. So you know, dropping $100 on a new necklace every week. You get what I'm saying, girl? Save your money. Save your money. But what other questions you guys got? You got questions about tarot cards, how to interpret a reading, or how often you should have readings, or Reiki, or anything? Because if not, homegirl about to go eat some dinner. Because it is now 7:36 by me at night. This is my malachite in this little cage. Sorry, I can't. Me in a steady hand it's just not going to happen. I always shake. Come on, please, hands. Work with me. Focus, focus. Nice. That's my malachite. Okay, let's see. You're so silly. Okay, how often to get a tarot reading? I personally recommend get a tarot reading. I either say every 2 weeks because the moon cycles, because the moon, full moon, new moon, every 2 weeks, right? Or get them as you are intuitively guided. I would not say to get more than 2 readings a month, to be quite honest with you. If you ever meet a reader that's like getting more than 2 a month is okay, they just want your money. I think that's very excessive. I think 2 a month should be your max. Because energies, you don't need more than 2 personal readings a month, especially if you're getting hour-long readings. If you're only doing 30-minute readings, then I'd say maybe 3 readings. But if you're doing hour-long readings, I'd say only 2 readings a month max. And that's just because the moon cycles. Read cards upside down. So I'm an intuitive reader, okay? Intuitive reader meaning that I use my intuition to read the cards. So you'll see that most of my readings I do channel. So I get a lot of comments like, do you even read tarot? Honestly, the answer is no, I don't. I don't read tarot. I channel. I get people in the comments like, do you even read tarot? Nope, I don't. I channel and I talk to the divine and I talk to my guides, and that's what I do, and it's now my job. So that's what I think about you. But for cards upside down, they do have specific readings. So if you're just beginning reading tarot, I would recommend starting to read what reversals mean. There's a few books that you can get online on Amazon. I personally have The Ultimate Guide to Tarot, and I would just start with that one, The Ultimate Guide to Tarot. That has reversal and upright meanings. That's a very good book for beginners to get. I highly recommend that book, and I would start by memorizing that. But as you open your intuition, I actually mentor in regards to how to learn tarot. But as you open your intuition, you're going to understand that it's literally a conversation and your intuition that's guiding how to interpret these cards in reverse. Because, for example, like a 5 of Pentacles in reverse, most people are going to see like, oh, this person's coming out of the cold. That's the book's definition. That's the book's definition of it. It could also mean that you're very closed off to somebody, or you're dealing with a scarcity mindset, or you're struggling with a blockage, or you're struggling to open yourself up to new opportunities. There's a lot of different meanings to these tarot cards that your intuition's going to guide you to. And over time, you're going to build a personal relationship with what that reverse card means. So for example, a Page of Pentacles in reverse to me means someone who's stuck too long thinking about the past, right? Whereas other readers, that might be someone who's being very selfish. You get what I'm saying? So you need to build a personal relationship with what those reversals mean. Because reversals are there's a lot of readers who don't even read reversals, and that's perfectly okay. I went back and forth for a really long time on whether or not I wanted to read reversals. Because it's a lot. It's a really overwhelming when you're starting off. So I would recommend doing what you're intuitively guided to do. I started off doing both right away, but I did go back and forth for a while, focusing mainly on just uprights. And if a reversal came out, I would read the reversal from the book to figure out what it was. And then I would listen to my intuition off of that. I hope that helps, because reversals are very hard to remember on top of the upright meaning. But I had to make flashcards when I first started to remember the book's meaning. And then you have to do meditations, learn how to open your chakras, close your chakras, open a channel, protect your energy. There's a lot that goes into doing the readings behind the scenes than just pulling cards to open a channel to actually do the readings that we do as intuitive readers, right? But I hope that answered your questions. Okay. How often, well, there I go, rereading the same questions again. You guys are so cute. Thank you, Rick. Oh, Shima, I'm so glad. I love that tarot deck. I've been using it more and more now that my medicine's like really kicking in. My eyes are doing better with that deck. I can actually like look at the colors of them more, so they're not like hurting my head. I'm very excited. That's a gorgeous deck. Thank you, Kareen. And then Shafina. Oh, it just loaded and went all the way down. Oh my gosh, come back. Where were we? Ooh, Roslyn, New York. I'm from Jersey, girl. I feel you. I lived really close to Patterson, New Jersey. BT Dubs. I love this name. Hey, it's Shanae. It's really green in person. It's very green. I know what you're talking about. It's probably my camera because I have the lighting, but it's very green. It's very dark green in person. Does that mean also when you pull your own cards? It's different when you do readings for yourself, when you pull your own cards. When you pull your own cards, I recommend doing a lot of meditation before pulling your own cards. That's for me personally. I like to do a deep meditation before I start pulling my own cards, because then I know my ego and my pride aren't leading my reading. I know it's hard to do when you're looking for answers and like you're really nervous and you're waiting for guidance. But if you really open yourself up and you take a second to call in your guides and really protect your energy, it's going to help you not only get the honest answering you need, but it's also going to help you see it more clearly. And you might not like that answer because it might tell you like, listen, you're holding on to this and you know you need to let it go, but at least you get the true answer, right? I would always recommend taking the extra second to truly open yourself up the way you would for a client, versus opening and just being like, okay, let me hear it. You know, don't just open up the box of cards and pull cards right away. How do you read for yourself? Yeah, same thing. So for example, when I pull cards for myself, I don't read for myself often, to be honest with you. When I want guidance, I typically always meditate. I will always sit with my guides first. That's just me though. I get a lot of imagery. I get a lot of downloads. I don't pull cards often. If I do, it's typically only like 1 or 2 oracle cards, or I do it on a new moon or a full moon, because those are big energy shifts and those will be my readings for myself. The reason I say pulling cards on yourself is I don't want you guys to get dependent on what the cards say, because I did this when I first started and I would pull cards every day for myself. It's a good way to get familiar with cards and help yourself learn as a reader. Oh, let's get you out of here. Let's, how do I get you out? Sorry, I had to kick somebody out. I didn't know how to do that. The reason I say to meditate is because I'd rather you guys build a stronger connection with your true guides. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We totally forgot about guides. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I want you to build a true connection with your actual guides, and I want you to use your discernment when you start to communicate with things that you see in your meditation. I want you to ask them before you immediately assume it's your guides and your higher order beings and your higher self. I want you to actually ask these things that you see. Are you of my highest good? Are you here to genuinely help me, right? use your discernment, because there are things out there that are not of your highest good. They're just kind of like, well, I want to use your energy because you're new and you're little and you're yummy, and I want to take advantage of what you have to offer right now, right? So I want you to be very mindful of that, okay? I want you to be safe. I want you to protect yourself. So I want you to learn shielding. You can YouTube videos on it, and I plan on eventually someday doing one on that. My time's a little scattered right now. But meditating versus just pulling cards, I don't want you guys to get dependent on pulling cards. Don't do it, because you're going to wake up every day and pull freaking cards, and you're going to get a different message, and then you're going to drive yourself freaking crazy. You're going to be like, well, yesterday I got this. Is the energy changing today? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Please don't do it. Just please don't do it. I did it. I've been there. I know it's hard not to. I'd rather you spend some time connecting with your higher self, trusting your intuition, understanding that you're exactly what and where you need to be, than relying on cards to give you your messages. I'd rather you trust yourself and your intuition than a source of divinity all the time. Okay? Because you're just as divine as the person who created these dang cards that you're asking. You get what I'm saying? So I don't, as much as I want you guys to learn how to read for yourself, I don't want you guys going to it every single day. Because I was that reader. Like when I first started, I always wanted to read for myself all the time. Okay. Thank you, John. You're so sweet. What does it mean when a person keeps saying 1111? It is a good thing. It's basically like an open portal. A lot of people are seeing that right now, myself included. When you see a lot of synchronicity, I want you to pay attention to what you're thinking at that time. I also want you to be very mindful of kind of the thoughts that you're having. So if you see 1111, I also want you to be very mindful if you're having low vibrational thoughts as well as high vibe thoughts, because if you're having low vibe thoughts, 1111 is a portal number. So it's a manifestation number. So if you're thinking, well, I can't do this, I can't have that, I want you to make sure that you're thinking positive thoughts, okay? Because that's what you want to manifest. Because just as high thoughts manifest, low thoughts can manifest too. So if you see a lot of synchronicity right now, be mindful that a portal for you is open for manifesting, and make sure that you're only thinking and expecting positive things to happen in your life. I do have the manifestation playlist that I use myself every single morning. And I promise you, I don't just say that. I'll even show you on my phone. That's in my most recent playlist on here, because I listen to it like literally as I get ready every morning. It is on repeat. See? What's right there? What's right there? Smack dab in the middle. Manifestation. Right next to it is the live we're on right now. But there's that. Then there's a hairdresser video, because I'm addicted to watching them. Why? Because I'm weird. So I like them. It's my 3D thing. But that will help. Nice love. Thank you, guys. And then we have 9 inches for you. Little booty got deleted, so we got rid of him. Yep, so true. Yes, it's going to speak with respect to situation you're reading. Go to the shop. Ah, hold on. Deleted. Ah! Oh, everything's jumping now. Cool, that's what I thought. Yes, it's got to speak with respect to situation you're in. Let's go to the shop about. Can you talk about healing powers of water? Should ever happen to you because you've gotten stronger and you're so funny you ask that. I'll talk about that. Hey, Somerset County here. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I know where that is. I'm from Morris County, New Jersey. Cool. Unfortunately, my name is very generic. Feels like the kind of name somebody would put on a porn site when they don't want people to know what their real name is. No offense, just saying, because I know somebody who did that growing up and I called them out on it, and it might be a family member. It's really funny. I always open the book and use the cards right away. Exactly. Yes, yes, it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Delete his ass. Yeah, we did. Show bye to my appointment now. You are so true. I've been seeing it everywhere. Good afternoon. Oh, hey, how are you? As a Virgo, intuition is very important. Great perspective or makes you an addict. High five, John. Yeah. Damn synchronicities. I was randomly assigned a telephone number. That's beautiful. That's a great number to have. Hey, May, how are you? Okay, so let's go back up here to these last. Okay, so water is just very cleansing. Water's water, nature, right? Nature. Water, emotions. But water is also known natural sources of water like running rivers, oceans, lakes. Let's talk about Sulis. Let's talk about Sulis. Like I said, I'm not pulling cards today, but I do like to reference gods and goddesses, and Sulis is a goddess of water. Oh, come on, Spirit, work with me here. Don't take my voice away. Don't take my voice away. Where you at? Baby girl, there you are. Spend time near water, such as a lake, river, or the ocean to recharge your batteries. So if you're ever like being really pulled towards bodies of water, I would always highly recommend working with the goddess Sulis. Water is very cleansing. Water is also going to help literally recharge your body. It's the kind of like, do you ever take salt baths? Like, have you ever tried a salt bath? Have you ever laid in a tub and just felt like literally, or like laid in the ocean on your back and like felt like, I feel free. I feel very buoyant. Like I feel I can walk on water right now. Are you talking to John in the UK? Oh yeah, they are. I was like, I'm not in the UK. I'm in the US. What are you talking about? These two really kicking it off. We got two little peas in the pot over here. But Sulis, I'll just read what Sulis is to you, basically. Sulis is a Celtic sun goddess who oversees bodies of water associated with healing. The fountain of healing water in Bath, England is named in Sulis's honor. Call upon Sulis when conducting healing ceremonies involving water, while taking a revitalizing swim or bath, or when you need help arranging your schedule or finances to allow a trip to the ocean or lake. Take a sea salt bath to detox your energetic and physical body. Drink more water. Move to a home suited closer to a body of water. The reason I really, yes, Yamana, exactly. Yamanya is a really, really good one to work with, which is so funny. See, Shima, you always got my back. I really like Sulis for this though, because water is not only cleansing for you energetically, like chakra wise, but emotionally, water is the sign of emotions. Water is very cleansing. Like if you ever need to purge something, I personally always take salt baths when I feel like emotions dumped up and blocked. I really, really like that goddess. And then what was the other question? Has seizures started happening to you because you've gotten stronger in your powers? So if you guys were here at the part of the chat when I said I met somebody this morning that was very like spiritually significant to me, it was actually another Reiki practitioner. I found a new Reiki practitioner that I wanted to work with, and I'll be getting attuned to another higher master level of becoming a even higher master level of a Reiki practitioner, master Reiki practitioner. I'm already a master Reiki practitioner. This is just like another form that's like a newer form of master Reiki practitioner that I've been looking into. And I was explaining to her that when I go through ascensions, when I go through my own awakenings and my crown opens up, it does feel like a seizure coming on, which is called an aura. It does have a similar feeling, because she asked me like if there's anything she needed to be aware of, and I just told her to be gentle when she was doing work on my crown. Because when my crown opens too aggressively, or if a practitioner just too intense of work on my crown, it will kind of make me feel as if I'm having a seizure. And I was explaining to her, I know that spirit is basically, because I had that feeling last night, because obviously we're all going through really big shifts and awakenings, and I was going through a big awakening today. Like I felt it really intensely today, which is kind of why I took the day, because it does make me feel like I'm having seizures, which is why I was like, I don't really want to do readings today. And so I was saying to her that was funny that we were talking about that, because last night I was sitting on the sofa and I was like grabbing the sofa and I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to have a seizure? I was like freaking out. And I was like, should I call my mom? My mom's right down the road. Like, what am I going to do? And literally Spirit chimed in, and Spirit was like, you know that it's not a seizure. You know, you need to get over the limiting belief that it's always, you know, that this is just your crown opening, because we're basically just helping you ascend right now. So that's like one of my blocks. They're very similar feelings. And it does freak me the mother out. Freaks me out so much. Because I'm petrified of having seizures when I'm alone. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. It's not fun. Because they're grand mal seizures, so they're not like small seizures. They're like full, whole face, hands, legs, everything. And yeah, it's not cool to have them alone. It's not fun. It's very scary. So I know Spirit like really tests me by my awakenings. When I get beams of light like that at like any time of day or night, they feel very similar to that. So that's why I moved closer to my parents, though. They're literally like 3 minutes down the road. So if I ever like feel that way, I'll be like, yo, come over now. I need you. So it does feel very similar to that, but I know that's just like a limiting belief that I have to work through, because I actually went through that a few months ago. And it was funny because I don't work a lot with archangels. And this practitioner, I was saying to her that in some of my meditations, Archangel Gabriel has been with me. And again, I'm not very religious. And that specific archangel has been coming to me. And I asked her, I was like, did you call an Archangel Gabriel? And she's like, I did. She goes, you saw that? And I was like, I felt that. And it was funny because I guess that's just who Spirit guided me to work with. So that's what I'm saying. There's going to be new people, new soul tribes, new opportunities coming. I am on new medicine for it. And it's funny because the medicine they have me on now, I was actually on this medicine when I was much younger. And I hated this medicine, and now they have me on the same medicine, but 4 times the amount. And I was like, oh, that's probably why it's working way better now. So I'm on like 100 milligrams of it now versus the 25 I was on when I was like 14. Because I had really chronic migraines when I was little, and they couldn't figure out why. And it turns out they were all mild seizures. And here we are. Ta-da! So it all worked out in divine time, though. It all worked out in divine time, right? So, because nothing ever happened until my 25th on Thanksgiving weekend. It's going to be 2 years this Thanksgiving. Can't believe that. Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. When you're having spiritual awakenings. Let's see. Yeah. I have a great neurologist, though. He's been incredible. The progress is insane, and he's just amazing. He's amazing. He's amazing with the MS too, like full recovery from my paralysis, because I was paralyzed on my whole right side. So the fact that I'm back in the gym, powerlifting and everything again is really good too. I heard a bell in my right ear only when I was speaking to a family member, so I know exactly what happened, but I'm excited that I heard only in one ear. And thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, and with MS, they're going to have I'm pretty sure they're finding a cure relatively soon. They're going to have a cure for it. There's no cure for it right now. There's only things like to postpone it, but I think they're on the verge of a cure for it, which is good, which is really good, which is nice. That was the hardest one for me because I'm an athlete. I've always been an athlete. I played sports all my life. I was a D2 athlete in college. I had a D1 scholarship until I broke my foot. And that was the hardest one for me to accept, was that one, because I was not able to like really move my body, and knowing it's something that deteriorates your function, you know. That was a tough one. So, but we're good now. Fully mobile. in the gym, showing people who's boss. So we're good. Yeah, my doctor's thebomb.com. I appreciate you guys. The ringing and taps in whatever room I'm in. Yeah, it's so weird. I heard like crazy ringing today when I went to my mother's house, and I was in, because I had to go there because they were working on my roof. And it was in a room where I had seen like a figure before. And I think that there's going to be a lot of clairvoyant, clairaudient, claircognizant like gifts and abilities coming in right now. So if you guys have abilities starting to wake up, those are some opportunities, expansion, because keep in mind that these opportunities aren't just going to be in the 3D. They're not just going to be in the material world, in your relationships. It's also going to be spiritual opportunities. So whatever new gifts you have coming to the forefront, please keep those in mind, okay? But it is now 8 o'clock and I'm getting a little hungry. So, yeah, MS is, it's not something fun. It's not fun, but with good people, good friends, it gets easier. My grandmother has it too. But I love you guys, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I will be doing your weeklies tomorrow. I'm going to try and do them in the morning. And I missed you. I just missed you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this live with me. I enjoyed spending some time with you. And I'll see you next time. Okay? I love you guys. You too, Shima. I'll see you guys. Bye.